Heyo, and welcome to the stream. It's Hunter Murray here with Brescia FC and Football Manager 2022. We're continuing year 10 today as we continue our perfect start to the season. Longest I think we've ever made it into a season perfect like this. We're on an incredible streak dating back to last year. And we've put, actually, it's still super early, but putting a little distance between us in Serie A as we beat Milan, and we have qualified as the first team out of the group in the Champions League. So the final game doesn't really mean much to us. I don't think that there's any tiebreakers in seeding across anything. So we have to think that we've put ourselves in the best possible position there. I do think we have a Newcastle or something, so we may need to oops, sorry about that. Keep morale up a little bit. But it is what it is. As we push forward, we've got a big day ahead of us in the new stadium, as well, now open. Where was I going? Schedule. So we'll finish out the Champions League group, and we'll push through Napoli, Bologna. And so not too many games. I think we should at least get into the winter break and start discussing January transfers. I don't suspect we'll do much, but if teams come for Marco Carnesecchi, it could be a rather interesting deadline. Same with, I think, Chelsea is really pushing hard for Anthony Madu, and I think big questions may have to be answered on if we would be willing to move on from either of those two guys who have both been off to incredible starts this season. Right now, I think both those guys are making the team tick, so it's hard for me to say I want to get rid of them, But if we can identify targets to replace Madu, I think we found Andrew North, kind of available in our range. If Carnesecchi goes, I think we could look at North and, if we can identify a couple things that help us spread the love a little bit, maybe a wing back and a replacement central midfielder or something that maybe lets us start maybe moving a little bit earlier than waiting for the board to inject cash into us, we could look at Madu, but I think it's going to be tough to identify those guys that really push us beyond there unless we get a little bit lucky, but we will see. So kind of without further ado, we'll get right into it. Udinese Calico at home in the new stadium before we head off to Newcastle. I'm going to take this one pretty seriously as the Champions League doesn't really matter. I think if I have to sacrifice that game as the first L of the season, it's not a bad one to sacrifice against a good squad in their home ground. It's kind of not to necessarily say we're expecting that, but it's maybe somewhat reasonable, right? Big win for Parma and Sassuolo win. And we are still selling out the grounds. That makes me really think about, I don't know if I want to do it yet, because I think I might request more funds, potentially, depending on how we're doing. But it does make me interested if we should already look at expanding the grounds. I know, construction just finished, but it does make me feel like we're already selling this thing out. Yeah, I think it's a good time. Their heads might have dropped Raska available. It's unlikely. Malacia. Yeah. How important has the team spirit at Brescia been picking up? Yeah, we're in a really special place right now. Matu seems to be in the right place. He's a game changer, and we can't take that for granted. I hope Genoa stick with him. My belief is you have to build a foundation. One thing, too, checking out our scouting shortlist. Looks like I did not scout everybody, or maybe people are coming up. Oh, there is one thing I did, which may impact that a little bit. I have added every young player in the world that was on a national team. I think there was a better way I could have done this, but I went through like in each team individually. I think it's hard. I'm not sure if you can find youth international caps from this thing, but essentially looking at a lot of these young guys, but only for like a week, and we'll see if we can get information back on them really quickly. Our hope is to kind of churn through those, and I think we can. We have a decent number of scouts, but ahead of this game too, there's been like a little bit of lag in some movement and stuff. I'm just a little concerned. I'm gonna save, just so I don't have to do some of that stuff again, just in case. I hope it's okay though. Now who are they saying? We're trying to move like everybody up to the squad. I see. Bartoli? Sure, it looks like he could be like some depth or something. Yeah, and it may not be bad actually with a guy like with a mercenary personality to maybe train him up to be something else, a little bit different. So Pekovic is still tired. So we'll see Abdulev, Orestes, and Denis. So I'm going to start Birkenbaum here, especially with our weaker defense. I'd like to start Barcelo too, but well, he's still fresh. So one thing I have been thinking about is Patrick Nordberg, who actually has both footedness, playing a little bit of wingback on the left side as we handle Malacia. I did not really think about that before, just because he's not comfortable there at all. But, you know, I don't think it's impossible for him to play at least a couple games there. Midu, we're going to play... And I think I want to go Cueva Mino. We're going to get a little creative here. And then Satriano Cabrera. And then for depth, oh, Bartoli's ineligible. But yeah, we're gonna try to keep some starters out here as much as we can. Yeah. Bajrami, I don't really care about. We're just looking to mark their wide players. Yeah, he's interesting. He could do it. Males is more likely to cut in. So yeah, we want to press. We don't play high enough, I think, to press that. Colombo, we're not too concerned about. He's also playing, because everybody's apparently doing it, playing an inverted wing, like fullback. So I guess we will maybe press Jung a little bit, because I think he will add width to the squad. We'll see. If they're specifically calling him out as like an inverted winger or something, as we like figure out their tactic kind of in the middle of the game, I think maybe we'll pull off on that. But secret binder, good home record. We're nothing without the fans. Yeah, I think if we played to the levels we're capable of. Yeah, it's nice to have the versatility there. Yeah, I'm mostly going Cueva because I think, like, what's his name? Miranda will be a really good, like, just see the game out, get a taller player out there. Really good move for Cueva, and then we can get a little bit of talent, extra talent on there right now with Cueva. You can see it almost works. And Mino is coming off of a 2-goal substitution appearance. So maybe we can get a guy that's willing to make those runs. Jiyoung, gonna try to loop it up over Karnaseki, but couldn't find the room. Satriano looking for Cabrera, who looks back for Satriano, who will head it goalward, but just from a little too far of a range to really be a threat for Lebrovic. Nice ball. Great first touch and a beautiful finish by Vincenzo Milico. That was just brilliant. Just brilliant from Udinese there as they stun the home side. Yeah, just caught Abdullah flat-footed, and it is just a perfect first touch there. Can't ask for much more from your striker. Set himself up perfectly. Kind of on the flip side, we're not generating much, at least in the first 20. Birkenbaum swung wildly. Mino will go to chase it. I don't really know why the game didn't decide somebody else's ball. And we'll try to play one to Lebrovic. Well, into Satriano, who heads it towards the keeper. Barcelo. And another throw. Or, I guess not. I guess it stayed in. I mean, a good response from us, but giving up a corner on the other side for Bajrami. Karnaseki will catch it. Birkenbaum stretching it down after moving through the midfield and flipping it wide. He looks for it. Satriano with a brilliant header. Good cross. Good header. Better save. Brescia will reset all the way back to Karnaseki, and he looks to move upfield. Orestes will play it into Barcelo. Cueva looking to drop one into the rushing Madu, but can't do it. Poor header from Denis. They play Milico in perfectly. This time he doesn't finish it. Karnaseki saving the day. Searching for Cueva. Just not quite on it right now is Brescia. Well defended and well turned upfield to Satriano, who plays it back to Cabrera, who probably wishes he could do a little bit better. Cabrera's gonna find space. Oh, and it's way over. Oh, a big chance for him. Udinese getting us started. Birkenbaum looking for Cabrera. Can't win it. Cueva will head it back. We'll get it back to Carnesecchi. As Brescia look to reset their attack. Denis out to Birkenbaum. Oh, Mino. Oh. Cueva. Barcelo. Brescia moving it. They're looking for something. Cueva will look for Birkenbaum, who looks to press forward. Brought down in the box, but cleanly out for a corner. Mino. Satriano finds Cabrera, and he's just wide. He was offside, though. And neither striker, I feel like, has been in finishing form right now. Cabrera making all the right runs, but he just can't get it through. Keeper in excellent position that time. Satriano off the post now. It may just not be Brescia's day. They can't find a way through. Mino looking forward for Satriano. He finds him. Birkenbaum. Strides forward, finds Madu. Back to Birkenbaum, who's just looking to find a little bit of room. He does. Back out to Mino. He can't turn and fire, though. Madu. And Udinese will counter. We're going Stromberg. I just need somebody to finish off a chance. Cabrera's had his chances. He just couldn't get there. He just couldn't find the finish. Well stolen by Miranda. Release at Satriano. Brilliant ball. Satriano there. Lebrovic makes another brilliant save. Putting Abdulov in the near post. I don't know if it's going to do much. We really were relying on Satriano, I think, in that position. And he just hasn't had it today either. I just think that he's kind of been a little bit more consistent, just goal scoring this year and in general. Good one. Stromberg. Can he finish it? He can't. We've had our chances. It was a tight angle. It was a tough finish. But we've generated 2 points of XG. I don't think it's necessarily been all the best chances, all the best shots. But we've generated it. We've given ourselves the chance. The quality of finishing has just not been there. Mollais makes a good run. Koulibaly will send it over. Wow. I don't know what to do. Satriano, please. Oh, it's off the post. Abdulov, was he there? Was he onside? Did Brescia snag it back? I mean, he had to be on. He had to be on. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I guess maybe they're concerned about Satriano on the backside. You know, if it's a loss, I'm not saying we deserve a loss. We've definitely played well. But I think we've almost played so well, I want to push for the win. And I'm willing to maybe risk the loss to push for the win. I think we've played that well. We deserve the win. We've put so much. Mino, Stromberg, Satriano, Stromberg, a chance. Oh my goodness, and yet again a striker has not finished a chance begging to be taken. Brescia's strikers have let them down today. If honestly that like if we lose, we deserve to lose. We are built to score goals through our strikers, and they have let us down. We have given each and every one of them chances today, and each and every one has failed. I'm not saying we should have scored like 4 or 5, but you know, I think on another day we score 4 or 5. And Milico, nearly, it almost popped up for him. Lazio draw at level late against Inter. Brescia are searching for more. They will get a corner late. Satriano looking for Stromberg, but couldn't find him. Miranda reads it well. Back to Satriano. Mino tripped up. But I guess they were saying it was a 50-50 ball. S10. Koulibaly. Milico. Mollis. Vallejo. Udinese doing well here. Holding possession, trying to get one last chance. Colombo pushes forward now. And that will blow the full-time whistle. Brescia salvage a draw, but can you say it's salvage when they generate 3 points of XG? Very, very difficult. Now, Udinese, I guess, did have 2 clear-cut chances out of all of that. And Brescia did only have 1, so maybe it's, maybe it is salvaged. But I thought we played pretty well. We just didn't get the finishing that we needed to today. Near disaster. Nearly our first loss. I mean, I think you do have to give a lot of credit there. The savior, Abdulev. Yeah, I felt we were the better team. An 8-0 rating for Lebrovic. I honestly don't think our takes were the best chance, but yeah, he had a very good. He was brilliant, unfortunately for us. I do think he had a good game, but I also don't think that we made him work as hard as we could have. And we've reopened the door for Milan. Juventus with a dominant game. That's not what I want. I just want to say you had a good day. Dulev had a great game. Yeah, it was a good team performance overall, but yeah, he definitely stood out. Satriano, we're very pleased with his efforts. I could. Yeah. The starters are going to rest ahead of the Newcastle. outside of Cabrera. Not to say, like, hey, Cabrera, get back to work, but, we did make a sub there, and he was maybe a little bit more disappointing. Yeah, the pass structure was there, the defense was there, we just couldn't get through. Well, we did get through, we just couldn't finish off a couple of chances that really needed to. Disappointed in every single striker there. I do think Satriano had a good game, at least facilitating, but and giving us some chances. I think he picked the right pass a couple of times, but he also hit the post like 3 times. And Busio off the transfer list or on the transfer list? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I kind of forgot Milan had him, to be honest. Disappointed after that game. Switching that up. And right into the pre-match press conference. A little pack schedule, meaning you'll rotate the squad. Yeah, that's almost certain. We have a responsibility. Prepared for Newcastle. I think it might be a good time to play them. Yeah, we definitely want to put things right as soon as possible. Yeah, he knows he's under pressure, but is thriving. Yeah, he's got a long road ahead. Yeah, I think we could see Vedgard. Can we expect mass change? Yeah, I definitely do feel like this is an opportunity. A tough opponent in the Champions League. A chance for maybe, when it doesn't, and maybe it doesn't matter so much. Could be a good opportunity for some youngsters. Cagliari beat Bologna. Sassuolo draws with Napoli. Frosinone beats Parma. And Atalanta behind a Heineck Becca win. Oh, and another loss for Milan. I missed that at some point. Milan lost, so they did not actually gain ground as we slip up with our second draw. Milan now have their 3rd loss on the season, which is probably the most I've seen them have. What's really interesting is, Atalanta have drawn a lot, but they do also only have 1 straight up loss. So we've got kind of a tough... Our rivals are kind of also having a good time. lot of new recommendations suddenly. Yeah, I guess we could go balanced away, but again, we don't have to win this one. So we will play Karnaseki, I think, in this one. I think we'll give it Pekovic, Denis, Galbraith. Yeah, everybody's kind of in a rough spot right now. I'm not going to go to Andrade in this one, though. Nordberg. I guess I could go Andrade in this one, but I'm not really trying to develop Andrade anymore, you know? He kind of is what he is, and... Raska will probably hold off. We might not see him until after the winter break. I'm going to go Stromberg and Cabrera. Sefil and Barcelo. Nordberg. Cueva steps forward and Miranda will play in the middle. Something like that, I think. So, making a ton of substitutions in this one. A lot of youth in it, but I guess I could go Mino too instead of Cueva. Well, Miranda's like close to starter Cueva, and then Nordberg's kind of the weak link. And then Barcelo Sefil. Yeah. I think, you know, for as many players are sub there, it's maybe not as bad as you might initially think. McNeil will be swinging in crosses and has a significantly weaker foot. Ward-Prowse will be swinging in crosses. Lamptey and Demirol. So Demirol will be swinging in crosses. Lamptey, I think, will also just press. Same, we'll just show on that weaker foot. Even though that means, like, open him up for crosses. And then, tactics-wise, I think simply I want to go standard, and everything else. Well, I might pass into space or something on the count. Like, imply that we're going to have to soak up some pressure and counter in this game. You come in this one in good form while your opponents do not. I've seen nothing to say. We're taking this for granted. You know, I don't think they're too bad. Yeah, we just need a little bit more from everyone. Well, honestly, we got our guys in position in that last game. We just didn't get guys to finish it off. You know. And we got to do that. We got to finish our chances. We got to do what we got to do. We have already qualified. Newcastle does have a chance here, but Hoffenheim with a victory over Marseille can also, control their own destiny. Marseille have yet to win any points, so. Or do they have like one? Romero Gavdi out to Tariq Lamptey, who presses forward here. And now they go James Ward-Prowse down the sideline. He'll look to get it into Marcos Alonso. Or Marcos Antonio, sorry. Marcos Vinicius. Ward-Prowse goes by Galbraith, but doesn't look to put in the cross. Looking to go again. Now it's Lamptey. Marcos Antonio, he finds space again. He's kind of been the extra man, just arriving late from range. Brescia generally okay with you taking the longer shots, though that one at the edge of the box is maybe a little riskier than you're hoping for. Prowse, this one knocked out again. Hoffenheim up early over Marseille, Hertha Berlin up early over Club Bruges behind a couple of Benjamin Sesko goals. Another one for Hertha Berlin. Club Bruges getting a little dominated. Terrible play there. Stromberg looks to open himself up. Can't find it. Cabrera looking to put pressure on. Does enough successfully there, Barcelo, to turn it up. In possession for Brescia. But they're just not quite clicking. And they weren't clicking, or at least the finishing wasn't clicking in their last Serie A game. And there looked a little off as well. Cabrera looks to go around his man. And could have been a brilliant goal. He put the power behind it, but saved by Blanco. I think you got to go low and across him there. But it is what it is. And Cabrera not quite ready for it on the backside, or maybe kind of got held up there. Maybe good defensively, kind of getting in front of him. Franck Kessié puts one in. Cabrera, this one over the bar, always rising. Kessié draws it level off a penalty for Real Madrid. Club Bruges, not yet done. Strand Larsen puts one home. And Vegard Stromberg, not up there too often in these corner situations, but he succeeds here and puts Brescia on top. Monaco, the other game, Monaco beating Feyenoord at the moment. The big game that matters for Newcastle, although it doesn't matter if the score stays the same as it is right now, is the Hoffenheim one, which we have not seen since the early goal for Hoffenheim over Marseille. But as things stand, Newcastle will not look very close at all. Isaac. From distance, relatively easy for Carnesecchi. Brescia will take that most of the day. Sesko with a hat trick in 28 minutes. And Gustavo Martins, one of the young Brazilian superstars, scores for Real Madrid. And Bayern Munich go up over Inter. I'm not quite sure what Inter's status is. I think they might need a victory, but that's a pretty tough squad to get one against. I know Milan is already through. They clinched. I think they might have clinched 2 games ago, being qualified. A beautiful ball. Karnaseki makes a big save. Gorgeous. Petkovic heads it long, and Gavi just lets Newcastle reset. Monaco score again. I think I missed. Maybe I did that, but I didn't realize it was 2-0 actually. Cueva. Petkovic. This one off the post. It could have been the second set-piece goal. Camavinga now scores, and Real Madrid have gone from being down to looking dominant in the first half. The best chance of the day goes wayside for Newcastle, and just Brescia chugging along, still getting their chances, but maybe not quite at the quality they're looking for just yet. But a good performance so far. Would maybe like to see a little bit more service to like a Cabrera, but can't complain too much. And we're definitely playing with a much weaker attacking setup. Seville there. And that's always dangerous with Ward-Prowse on the field. But it comes of nothing. A lot of set pieces. For Newcastle. Cleared off the line there by Cabrera, and maybe not the guy that you expect back there, but Nordberg, well done to cut that out. Denis flips it forward to Cabrera, who looks to just hold it up and get it back. Barcelo cutting inside of him. Nothing coming of that attack. Cueva looking for Seville, doesn't. But a big mistake by Newcastle. Stromberg couldn't make them pay. Another big save from Blanco, who's made a couple of good ones. Salzburg and Feyenoord trying to get back into their respective games. Stromberg, a good ball forward. He can't finish it off again. He was onside. It seems like maybe the team thinks that he wasn't. Nobody really ran up in a hurry to support him. by Cabrera. Back out to Cueva. He's going to play Cabrera through, who goes to Stromberg, who tries to wrap it around Blanco. I think Blanco would have been there had it been on target. So, yeah, we'll drop Cueva back for Miranda and go Mino. Nordberg. Stromberg. Dump it off. Satriano. And Blanco scrambles across, and he has definitely kept Newcastle in this game. I think Brescia could have been better, but had that maybe early chance from like Cabrera gone home. This could have been a different match, and I think Blanco has done a very good job keeping Brescia off the score sheet so up to this point. Denis looking a little dinged up. I don't know. Really, it's working right now, so I don't want to pull off or anything. Sorry, Denis, you know? Ward-Prowse going to try to play one up to Hernandez, who does well. Marcos Vinicius pushing forward. Back to Villar, who sets up, but can't direct a goal. Or definitely the space. They've gotten that a couple of times today. Looking for Stromberg, can't find it. Blanco to clear. Hernandez will head it along, but Pekovic there to sweep any of that up. And Brescia look to relaunch a counterattack. Satriano puts a beautiful touch on, and the substitute puts it home. A brilliant attack there. In the other games, Real Madrid looking to recertify themselves in that game, and Monaco retake the lead over Feyenoord. Brescia here successful. And Newcastle, who have been disappointing. Newcastle have been pretty disappointing in the Premier League so far. Have also now been very disappointing in a winnable group for them, probably. It will be the team that beat them today, Brescia, that come out on top. Very well done. Could have seen more from Cabrera. That's not really his game though, with all those long kicks and everything. Fair to say you're relatively confident. I think there's always an element of luck, but you know, I thought we played pretty well. We know what we're capable of, and we just have to go out there with belief. Yeah, we just need to continue to build on the good times. I know, you know, we're now, I think it's 30 unbeaten games. That was actually bad for Denis. He pulls his knee ligaments, and he will be out for 2 to 3 weeks. How pleased are you with that win? In general, players were pleasing, and I like that we secured. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I prefer to keep my thoughts private for the time being. It was Raska's not ready. You know, it is Champions League, but it wasn't like, you know, that wasn't like a must-win game by any means. You know. I am gonna go to the starters there and get everybody who started. Well, maybe except Denis. Who else played? Satriano played. Mino played. Orestes played. Those were the subs. And I'm just gonna give them a rest. No. What is Cabrera's contract looking like? Well, we might have to at least start thinking about it. We don't have to think about it, I think, until I won't sell. And then in the other side of the Champions League, you get Arsenal over Galatasaray, Barcelona over Young Boys, Dortmund over PSG, a draw for Porto and Dinamo Zagreb, Juventus win over Celtic, Man City win over Moscow, Milan win over Ajax, and Atletico Madrid win over Gladbach, which probably gets them into second place, I would assume. So if we look at the Champions League, it is Brescia and Hoffenheim moving out of our group. Hoffenheim did only draw, so there was hope for Newcastle, but they weren't able to get it done. Out of Group A is Man United and Real Madrid. Out of Group B is Bayern Munich and Inter. Move fast. Group C, Hertha Berlin and Monaco. Group D, Brescia and Hoffenheim. In Group E, it's Arsenal, Barcelona. Group F is PSG, then Dortmund. Ooh, a tie in points. A tight one. And they both beat each other like 1-0. So, yeah, it's just PSG outscored their opponents more. Man City and Juventus, Milan, and as I said, Atletico Madrid. Ajax, a very disappointing 4th place. Probably the most disappointed. Benfica 4th, but like, that's a really tough group. Everything else seems kind of reasonable as expected. Probably the most disappointed would be Ajax, who will not be continuing their European journey this season. It's him, Mogensen. But all the Italian teams are through, as you would hope. We're all pretty good squads, so. I didn't pay attention, but just trying to think of teams that I didn't see there. Well, Newcastle, obviously. Yeah. All of your, everyone but Newcastle. What's funny is that the Italians were actually good. That's kind of wild. He's kind of on the fringe. Let's maybe check. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of these goalkeepers in here. It was one of the things I noticed when moving through is that I think goalkeeper is just like a thin position in general. So there were a lot of younger keepers called up. But that was kind of what I was saying, that we can work through those reports pretty quickly. And just gonna keep adding week by week here. Just trying to like squeeze them in between some of the kids that are getting their full scouts. Barcelo with a tight hamstring ahead of Napoli. Vignato, yeah, nothing really wrong with him. Nothing special. Hasn't had a lot of success in Serie A. I mean, he might not be a bad little, like, depth for cheap if, like, I needed it. But, I don't think I'll need it. No. Well, the one thing about that is I guess he was pretty low. Yeah, let me just get Mogensen back. I mean, he is playing pretty well, it's like, to be fair to him. Yeah, let these guys at least get the scouting started. And maybe see if we learn a little bit more. It looks like most of these guys are nothing. But let's give them a little bit of time. Continuing to work through all of these guys. Just looking to praise the young guys, keep them somewhat happy. Wow. All the U18 boys. I guess I talked to him recently. Oh, no, I didn't. I mean, I know exactly what I'm doing. Frozzone and Salert Nana. Napoli up next. Yeah, I think we'll have these guys at least as depth. Well, maybe Billy Jackson, who's still... getting better. And our press conference, Brescia's last meeting with Napoli. Yeah, I don't think I want to make predictions about it. You know, they're a good team. We have to give it our all. Rivalries against them. Yeah, there's something else there. I think there'll be a couple minor tweaks, but nothing fundamental. There's something special about matches like this. I think they're terrific. What the competition's all about. You know, I personally relish these encounters. Yeah, I don't want to get dry on that. I want to focus on doing our job as best we can. Not tremendously, no. You have to go through those poor forms. Got one of the best defensive records in the league. It all starts with hard work. Yeah, we like to spoil everybody else's day. David Farsi comes back against his old club, or David Farsi. Yeah, we'll have to catch up. Oscar Cueva, yeah, I believe in his approach. Fiorentina have been the surprise story for all the reasons. Yeah, I think they're too good to struggle for too long. Milan versus Torino. Can Milan get back on track? First, we'll do this. I don't need to see more of that guy. And a draw for Milan. Draw for Hellas Verona and Sampdoria, and a win for Roma over Sassuolo, as Roma pushes into the top 6. And they will be there. Lazio can't catch them. And can we put a little bit of distance between us and a slipping Milan? They've gotten 1 point over the course of 2 games. We've gotten 1 already. Can we make it 4? And is a big question that we have to answer. Also, in other news, Juventus and Inter playing today after us. And then all the other games will be before us. Atalanta looking to push and maybe take advantage of Juventus, who's got a tough matchup. Dusan Vlahovic is the Serbian Player of the Year winner over Danilo Pekovic. I mean, they're telling us about him because of his because I think we have him on the short list or whatever, but Hannibal, yeah, nope. Cagliari winning. Atalanta draws with Lazio. Udinese beat Bologna, and Fiorentina beat Parma. A lot of questions here. Denis will be down. Is Karnaseki in for sure? So I think Pekovic, Abdulev for sure. Probably Orestes can play. Maybe we'll go Galbraith. Just be a little bit safe with some other injuries around. Birkenbaum on the right. Barcelo, who did get a little dinged up, I'm like kind of interested to like just play him. But I think we'll go Nordberg here on the left. Madu at the box-to-box. And we will also be getting Raska back. And we'll also bring up Bartoli into the mix. Not that I think we'll see much out of him. We'll play Oscar Cueva. Yeah. I mean, neither guy has really impressed me. But I think we'll go to Satriano, and I think I'll go Stromberg beside him. Bartoli will be back. And we'll just give him one of these random numbers. Opposition-wise, I think I am going to take this off. I'm going to take this pressing off. You look like you're getting forward for sure. And you can kind of do it both. Yeah, we're almost kind of like encouraging you to cross in a way. Farsi. He's also dual-footed. Yeah, they're slightly weaker foot. Show on to them. We'll see how that goes for us. And then Seidu. I mean, he can cut inside, but I'm not too concerned if he does. And Polino, he's going to cut it in. And we're going to do that. What do you attribute your good run from? Can't explain why, but we talk about tactics or whatever. But we just have, you know, you need to score goals to win games. It's Derby Day. Tremendous occasion. An atmosphere to behold. At Napoli. And a chance here for Brescia, with a couple of the other top teams playing each other, and Milan already losing, or drawing earlier. Actually, I guess I should say. They lost last week. A chance, an opportunity for Brescia to put a little distance between them and the team that has been the top. Birkenbaum whips one in, looking for Satriano on the backside, who puts it home. They've done that a number of times. But was Satriano a little offside as that ball was played in, jostling for position. He was not. An early goal for Brescia. And the leading goal scorer absolutely dominating in Serie A. Yeah, they're just jostling back there. Yeah, I want to see how they play. Are they trying to go long? Do we want to pull that line back? I've been enjoying the standard line, but I think what's maybe fun about it is showing that you play that high line, and then the game maybe doesn't necessarily pick up that you kind of like playing in the standard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know if they notice all the little shifts and changes that you like to do, but I've been kind of liking the standard, actually. Birkenbaum. A good one into Stromberg, who goes wide, but too wide. Well done by Osifo. Nico Mantle looks to make a big clearance. Galbraith, the man to pick that one up. Peter Raska getting his first start since injury. We do get to see him. Oh, nice little move there. Getting to see him before the winter break. They thought that maybe he wouldn't quite be back in time. Nico Mantle, the ex-Brescia keeper. He was a backup for a while. For like a year and a half or something like that. Has been pretty successful at Napoli as far as I know. And has had a couple of good games against his old club. Napoli. Oh, Cueva. Stromberg. But Stromberg left a little too soon. Bekovic winning the header at the near post again, but Nico Mantle collects. He'll go long again. Birkenbaum this time picks it up. And he somehow gets it out to Cueva. I mean, a brilliant spot, but a poor finish from the attacking midfielder. Nordberg, we also see playing at the left wing back spots with Malacia's injury and a little bit of a knock for Barcelo, they go to him over playing somebody like Orestes. We also saw that another guy that could potentially play that position, Florent Denis, was injured in the last game after playing there for a little bit, so. Not very deep for Brescia. Oscar Cueva now picking up a knock. Let me just see what the game is saying before we get there. Wants to stay on, but the injury is hindering him. So I'll let him stay on, but we'll make that sub at halftime. I mean, it may be a good time for that to come, but the games have come hot. Been coming thick. Jesus Christ. But we've been playing a lot of games, is the thing I want to go with. We've been playing a lot of games recently, so just kind of expected that some of these things were going to happen. I did think about playing Mino, but he also looked like he was just as likely to be injured. He maybe had a little less fatigue or something. We'll be safe, though, and hopefully that one's not going to get worse for Cueva. Though I think Mino has been good. I think we just like Cueva's versatility over some of these other things. And I normally would have liked to maybe sim this winter break, so we didn't have to sit there, but it didn't quite time out like that. Kind of wish we got there last stream. So you'll be sitting here with me through the winter break. The thing is that it doesn't like really coincide. There's a couple days. What a ball. I mean, Mino had to go with his head, and that's maybe not his best attribute. But a nice ball there. Was that Nordberg chipping it over? Berkenbaum looking for Satriano, but Mansell grabs it. That's the thing. If it was like a winter break that coincided with January, it'd be like at least maybe entertaining. But it's like the final 4 days, and some people will bid slightly early, but it seems like everybody kind of like does their business in the window for the most part in this game. Summer's maybe a slight exception. I've definitely seen the AI try to do more before the window really opens. But January, it really seems like they wait until it opens, you know. And Berkenbaum having a good day, but he's tired, and he actually picks up a little knock. Well, we'll make sure to get him off. I'm actually going to maybe play like a Mohamed Yenner in for Stromberg. I guess I kind of forgot Raskit just came back from injury, but I think he'll be okay. Labata strides all the way forward. I mean, he hit it hard. Kind of a wild kick ultimately in the end. The defense playing pretty well for Brescia. Plenty of time, as you see. Now up to Galbraith. Madu tries to find Safil pushing forward, but he can't get an opening. Amone. Mantle. Flipped out Madu. Trying to find Yenner. I mean, a big touch, but it kind of works. Safil. Not exactly what we want, but not a terrible chance to take. Brescia seemingly pretty dominant. Not much generated for Napoli in terms of shots, so they do get one on target now. Seydu, and it's off the post. That would have been made it level. Napoli may be starting to generate some things. Lazaro, Amone. Some of their substitutes that we don't have like instructions on. Yeah, it seems like they've kind of taken the momentum here at the end. I maybe should have pulled off. We've played a lot of games where we're maybe a little bit more tired. The midfield's tired. The defense is tired. And it could have been, but over the bar. A goal kick for Brescia, who shouldn't be really in a hurry to take it. Phil flips it up to Satriano. Plays it into Jenner. Mino. Rasca. Satriano. Not the best ball, not the best passing showcase there. And Napoli look to spring Abada again. Phil. And they will call that full time. Well played generally from Brescia. Yeah, they definitely started taking it over there at the end, and we probably should have gotten a little more defensive. But we held on. We did enough without the tweaks. Good job, boys. Generally, we're just the better team. Yeah. Smiles in the locker room currently don't see anything. How concerned about the risk of complacency? I think there's a fine line, but yeah, Satriano's a quality finisher. I'm not too concerned about a perceived overperformance. And Brescia do their job. Juventus and Inter still yet to play. Tight calf for Cueva. Better to be safe than sorry. Pretty creative day from Birkenbaum. We like to see that. Satriano's early goal shaped the way of the game. Yeah, it was really an important moment that let us just settle in. Delivered some great results with distinctive brand. Delighted to see it paying off. Birkenbaum leading in the near... Yeah, I haven't seen anything to suggest that. Perhaps. But decent day from Nordberg, who we expected. And it will be Inter, who was behind Juventus, the winners there. So your league table heading into the winter break will look like that. We are 9 points ahead of Milan. The difference is 3 wins to 3 losses, including one where we beat them. Inter fall just behind them in 3rd place. Atalanta slip into 4th with Juventus losing here. And Roma take 6th place in that final week. Fiorentina being disappointing in the mid-table. Going down. Bologna and Genoa struggling. Parma in the relegation zone. Maybe not necessarily looking like the worst team, though. Could still find their footing. Plenty of games remaining, obviously. We have to get it Wait, what? Wait. We're playing, like, Bologna, like, right out of the winter break? What? Or is it not the winter break yet? I think we got screwed on something here. I thought it was the winter break. Maybe it's not. I mean, something still seems weird with the timing of this. No. Because then, like, we have a lot of time, but so, like, we have a lot of time until Bologna, and then we have a lot of time between Bologna and then Genoa. I think I got confused because we had kind of this entire week going up. So I thought that was it, but I guess this is it. But then it's also not telling us that we're off. I mean, it makes more sense for it to be like, but we're like playing on, like, I mean, not like Christmas, but like Christmas weekend, I guess. Like, I guess it's what? Don't get me wrong. I'm so confused. I mean, actually, you know, it makes more sense for it to be like after this game, but I guess it just like the games were coming so fast, and now suddenly we had like more than a week for like the first time in a long time. Something like that. That's weird. And then with some of like the awards that popped up too, I think I just got confused just because like wait, we have a whole week before the next match? Gretchy? So we will see the Champions League first knockout round. We have been seeded for the draw. Since we finished first. Atletico Madrid. So we have Atletico. Not much waiting on that. Juventus will take on Man United. Arsenal and Dortmund. Milan has Hoffenheim, which you gotta probably favor Milan in that one. Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Real Madrid, PSG, Inter, Hertha Berlin. Monaco, Man City. So you'd have to think Man City would do well. Inter probably the favorites there. A tight one between Real Madrid and PSG. Barcelona and Bayern Munich also pretty tight. Arsenal should have the advantage over Dortmund, though they were very impressive in their group. Juventus a really tough draw against Man United, but maybe somewhat competitive. Milan had the advantage over Hoffenheim, as mentioned. And then I don't know if I like our chances, but I think we've got a team in a very similar standing to us. Pretty good keeper. Eder Militão's a little bit older, but he's still kicking. I actually had a chance to sign him on a free a couple years ago, and maybe should have. Like, he's actually still around pretty well. This guy, I mean, he's solid. He's really good at defending. I'll actually give him a lot of credit on that one. Just from what I'm looking at, I don't think this team is going crazy. We will also maybe see Waldemar, an ex-Brescia man. Ooh, that's a nice little player there, though. But yeah. I mean, they seem good. Obviously they're in the Champions League, but I think we'd have to at least put ourselves as competitive there. I did that big wrap up for like nothing. And and I guess it was just like because I also saw like the full week of rest. They were like very upsetting. No, you're probably not anything. He does a really good balance. You know what? With the balance, I don't know. I think I saw some weird thing where it actually said balance, like reveals how good that they could be potentially as a player or something. But it's like the closest thing to potential because like I don't know. I guess from what the guy did, I didn't read the full article, but my assumption would be in that is that balance is almost like a natural thing. Boo. Ugh, I mean, no wingbacks. I specifically got a guy that plays. Don't you favor a 5 with wingbacks? Like, I get you maybe not giving me any wingers or whatever, but I think one of the things about him, though, to be honest, is actually this slight lack in Italy if that makes any sense. But because I think that we, it's not like we're getting the best players from the Netherlands anyway. So I'm not saying that like you should just get a guy that has like is really good, but also really good in your city, because I think it is interesting to get players from elsewhere, and I think it can happen. But I'm kind of wondering if there is something about like if it's gonna take that long for your guy to like develop his knowledge of Italy, right? Or 90%. Like it might be better to have a guy, Birkenbaum. Abdulev pulls his hammy. He'll see the physio and may not have much left for Bologna. Sampdoria beat Roma. And we will see Sampdoria in the cup in January. Billy Jackson back. Rashford off the transfer list. Frosinone. Hellas Verona beat Parma. Napoli beat Lecce. This is Coppa Italia stuff. Martino Rini coming through in the cup. I mean, against Delfino Pescara. If I knew that this was the team, and I could have been a Dolphin. No. I'm very happy with our journey with Brescia, but that is a great team. But also, I think because I would think like Pescia is like pesca, like pescatarian or whatever, and like fish, and then I'd probably get mad. No. No. I mean, I think I have just enough time to get him happy again. Not for sale. He's not for sale. I mean, I have just enough time. The thing is, like, if Stromberg had, like, if he showed me, like, an iota more, I'd maybe be like, okay, yeah, we can go Stromberg. And, like, but I think Cabrera's been better. Oh, everybody's getting hurt. Maybe my physios were right. Maybe we shouldn't have been doing anything. You already took Mourinho from me. You've already taken him. Poch, get away from me. Get away from my team. I bring them in. I bring them in from the foreign lands. Although it does also seem like Villalpando did not necessarily become the superstar that we could have hoped for. He's been okay, Tottenham, but he's a guy that's, with 17 finishing, you'd think would score 10 goals at least a season, 15 more like. Denis still hurt. Everybody else. I just don't. I think they do some like weird substitution stuff when you do that. I mean, we're not getting very much in their report. Does have potentially good dribbling, but not much of a crosser. Yeah, we'll take a peek. See, this one's a little bit more developed. Okay. The same thing with these scouting started, just like let him go. And we'll come back to it. Should have probably rejected a couple more guys in that group, actually. Raska back, and Raska training well. Good to see. Yeah, I guess you're on the front. Oh, these are just like loan list stuff. Yeah, what was the other thing I wanted to do? Let's go back to the short list. We're still working our way through the children, though. Couple big games there and sat on the Saturday. Mirabella, wow, he's really expensive. He does enjoy big matches and is a consistent performer. Would count towards all the Italy. He's not super impressive. Really too expensive ultimately for what it is. But enough to maybe keep an eye if something weird would happen. Yeah. Yeah, let's maybe give a little bit more there. then you're like a fine player or whatever. Oh, and Atletico Madrid actually, now they have Erik ten Hag as their coach. Manager. Atalanta win, Juventus win behind Kang In Lee's big performance, hat trick, and Fiorentina draws as they still have not really gotten back on track. Milan and Inter, another big matchup ahead of us. Bologna have now suffered 6 straight. I would say we have an excellent chance. Your side head into the winter break following this match. There's time before your next match. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I think it gives us to take stock and give the players a deserved break. Last time out against Napoli, your side played well. Yeah, those give us the confidence to do back to Drew next time. Do you think the good streak owes a lot to the positive atmosphere? Absolutely. The side is playing with freedom of confidence. Are you happy about? I don't think one loss is going to do that. Denis, he's still a little ways off right now. Sefil, yeah, he's a young kid. We want to be patient where possible. Matteo Pessina getting transfers. It's not really for me to say. How important is that Emmanuel Filippini Arena has become such a fortress? Yeah, I mean, it's early, but we've just been on such a good roll, and to come right back in there, but in front of the bigger crowd is just so nice. Satriano, yeah, we love him. And Torino, yeah. So what this competition needs, you need more of those clubs to build on things and become staples. We were hoping Parma was maybe going to become one of those teams. They now seem to be struggling. No! We'll send Satriano home. Unfortunately, that means he misses the game. But kind of the hope is that we're not going to get Nico Hartman. Yeah, not too concerned about all of that. Jude Bellingham. Scouting started. I see if anything coming up from this, but doesn't really seem like it. Let me just see how many we're working through, but most of them don't look like they're going to be much. But that's kind of the good news there, is where we're just kind of saying, hey, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that when they're coming back. Or whatever. Milan do beat Inter, and Inter then falls out of the top 4. Lazio beat Parma, Udinese draw Roma, and Sassuolo score a bunch over Genoa. Yeah, we're doing well. Sabatini set up a goal. Gennaro Di Pascalis with a big injury will be out. We're not too concerned about him becoming something, and Sabatini, not too concerned about him becoming anything either. Yeah, we move that. Sure. Carnesecchi. Yeah, that's worth talking about. Hey, buddy. Form has been excellent as of. Also, Liverpool's still there. And now with like Real Madrid and Juventus and like all these other teams in there too, I kind of have a feeling like Yep. Florentini's still not ready. Abdulev and Billy Jackson are cleared for at least some time, but it's looking unlikely. So, yeah, it'll be Pekovic in the middle, Galbraith on the right side, Orestes on the left. Birkenbaum on the right with Barcelo on the left, although I guess could try to keep him away from the yellow card. Madu, Raska, Cueva, Stromberg, Cabrera, Miranda, Satriano sit down. Denise still injured, not cleared. Jackson could play if desperate. I know he played a bunch. We don't have a lot of options on the not a lot of options on the bench. I mean, we are now a pretty fresh squad after a week break. Other than these random injuries that kind of occurred. Yeah, they will get I have faith. I want us to carry on really good times. And I'll probably also use it kind of coming back. Opposition. Yeah, I think we're gonna not tackle hard. Guillaume looks like he would want to cross. DeMarco. Yeah, he's gonna want to cross. Dogba looks like he's gonna want to come up and cross. Orsolini, yeah, usually does well against us. Is looking to cut inside. I won't be pressing him though necessarily. And Iliev usually does pretty decent as well. Recent match have been challenging. So it's a front note about it, but I hope we can come out of it a stronger team. Rather have Satriano available. Yeah, we have to come in with 100%. It's just squad rotation. Nordberg's still young. He's more of a versatile backup for us right now, too. Like, I don't know that, like, there's much to read into that one, regardless of form. We do like him, and we like that he can play a variety of positions, and generally does well in those positions, but kind of important for him, with only one left back, with a left wing back, with an injury to, Miranda in the midfield. More important for him to kind of be on the bench and adapt if we run into problems. I think Galbraith didn't read that too well, but it looked like it was always going to be the keeper's ball at that placement. A little floated. Dangerous position on the other side now as well, and it's headed along, but able to be scooped up by Carnesecchi. It looked like everybody kind of pulled off. Don't know if they all thought that they were offside or what was going on there, but... Pekovic, Orestes, Barcelo sitting out in space. Back to Orestes, back to Barcelo, who goes to Cueva. Cueva back to Pekovic as Brescia just looked to probe forward. The long pass into Barcelo. And he'll eventually has it go. Rather see him try to play Cabrera through there, you know. But not the worst, I guess. Did have space. To Stromberg, Cabrera in all kinds of offside position. It's a position that nice ball from Cabrera. Stromberg to run into it. Got a couple guys on the cut back. Looks to do it. Cabrera can't win the header, though. Madu will keep it forward. Barcelo adding width back into this attack down the side. Stromberg gets a free header back across. The keeper had him beat, but hits the crossbar, and Kareem's back out. Cleared, but only as far as Pekovic. Brescia looking to keep the pressure on. Birkenbaum now. Madu. Maybe a little too close. Cueva. Brescia looking to pepper. Bologna looking to clear it, and Pekovic will get a yellow for his trouble. A hard tackle. Stromberg flipped up and heads it over. A big chance there. Had he even just let it fall to his feet, could have maybe been a better chance. Pekovic clears. Cabrera will head it along, but not to anybody in particular. Gilliam beats him in the foot race. Had a slight head start, I think. Cabrera tracks him all the way back, though. Let's go. Cueva. Looks to play Stromberg through. It's a chance here. Stromberg blasts it home. Brilliant from Cueva. And a reward from one striker to the other. Cabrera is going to get no credit on that. But honestly, his tracking back sets him up. I would have loved, honestly, for that to be Cabrera on the other side, because I think that would have been such a cool goal. Pekovic, off the post. Another chance there. Corner for Brescia. Stromberg, off the post again. It falls to Cabrera. Back to Raska, who looks for Galbraith on the backside. Ooh, Pekovic, don't be reaching. One subtle thing. Just moving forward. No offense. I don't mind giving Stromberg a chance, but it's just... Like, if Pekovic is the other option, I don't mind giving him a chance, but in this case, the other option is Galbraith, who is also pretty good in the air, but fantastic ball. Stromberg will win the corner. Madu? Barcelo out to Cabrera. He looks to whip in a cross. Stromberg there will head it. Kind of wish Cabrera would just, like, low cross there or something, but... Dogba offside? And whipped in by Barcelo. Oscar Cueva puts it home with his head, not his strength. But there were 3 Brescia players there ready to put that one home, and it was hit well by Barcelo there. Well, two really, but Cueva's the one who wins the header, and he puts it home. Karnaseki with a big save. Defense did well to put the pressure on. And Karnaseki jumps out and grabs this one. Madu. Galbraith. Just over. Yeah, I don't really have any other defensive options. Bartoli's a wing back, right? Yeah. So, I guess you guys are going to stay in. We'll just see if something else maybe pops up. Oh yeah, Denise hurt. I was like, why don't I have another player? Cabrera. Stromberg playing it back and forth, and Stromberg goes for glory and nearly has it. And Barcelo, I guess, can play. So I could probably get Galbraith out. Cabrera plays Mino through. Deserves an assist. Cabrera doing a lot of things right in this game and just not getting rewarded. Another one off the post. Yeah, I think we're just going to push these guys through. Poor management on my part to just, like, play those other guys, I guess. Limiting our depth, we could have maybe seen one of the youth prospects get their debut. Potentially. Somewhat poor there. Shomarudov. Pushing forward. He will be pushed wide. Franco finds space, but he can't keep it down. Difficult skill. Seville. Pekovic. A chance for him. Trying to play Cabrera forward. Quiros does well enough. Pander. Flips it forward. And Galbraith grabs it. Pekovic, Cueva, Mino, Cabrera, Stromberg. Out wide to Barcelo, who looks to whip one low to Cabrera. It will be blocked in front. But the pressure stays on. Raska to take the corner. A push in there. Trust Cabrera. And Pander saves it. Cabrera grabs it. Cuts it back to Barcelo. Cabrera got to keep it in again. He's going to play it across. It gets cleared. Ugh. A big chance there for Brescia to just extend it, really ice the lead. They can't. Trying to play it through to Stromberg, who actually does win the foot race. Cabrera will also win this one. Yeah, it could have been a big chance to cross, but I don't know what happened. That we don't get to, like, see that at all. Must have been really botched. Played to no one. Probably should be the end of the game. Brescia definitely not in a hurry. Or, yeah, I mean, they'll probably throw it in, but... Last final possession. As they do try one more to Cabrera, but a little out in front of him, Pander. Pinder. Missed penalty, unfortunately. And the final whistle for Brescia. 2-0. They had the penalty chance. They also put like another point of XG up on top of that. Not too great, but pretty dominant win, at least defensively. Yeah, we hit the post a lot. There were a few moments where I feared things wouldn't turn out as planned, for sure. Pekovic the star. Parius in the air. Griggs watching Madu. How impressive you've been by Karnasecu has now gone 340 minutes without allowing a goal. Yeah, he's top quality goalkeeper and everybody knows. Stromberg. Yeah, a solid game. Expect to see more. Gretchy. Yeah, it's been nice to see him play well. Quite possibly, yes. Would you like to keep? I can't discuss any of that. I mean, if he wasn't so expensive, sure. Soga. I won't be discussing it. Yeah, we make a note that it's 90 minutes long. How important has Madu been this season? 13 assists. He's been brilliant. There aren't many better, I would say. Yeah, certainly hope so. I have to strike a balance, but Brescia and Oscar. So Brescia win, Torino draw against Cagliari, and this will be your winter break lineup. Brescia, Milan, Atalanta, Juventus, Inter, Roma, Lazio. Your top 7. Not a little bit difference up top, shifting around a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Brescia first team players are now gone out on vacation. Hane is training pretty well. Barcelo, Galbraith, and Pekovic all make team of the week. Jamal Arab will be in the African Cup of Nations. A Moroccan who's been playing well for Lycée. Just doesn't have that quality. because everybody's on. I don't think. Yeah, nobody's there. Just wanted to see if something weird was happening with, like, this. It seems like we're okay. So we're really just cruising forward, looking to get into the transfer window. I don't know if we'll get another game in or if we'll stop. Well, yeah, I did get this stream started late, but well, yeah, I want to like let these guys scout a little bit. You know what I mean? So I have slightly more information to make some things. So I think, yeah, we'll probably just like roll a little bit while longer on this one just because I got the stream started late. It was also a delay. Nobody really hanging out in this one for kind of good reason. Didn't really get this one going right. I have him transfer listed. I mean, I want to keep our best players here. I also don't like seeing the 51 number. Like 75? Sure. 50? Like, it's gonna cost me all of that just to get Andrew North back. Like, coming back the other way. And that's if I can get him coming back the other way. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're good on that one. Good on that one. I guess those guys could... Couple guys. Because I do think the interesting thing is also just about, like, amassing these young guys. Because, like, I'm kind of responsible... Well, what I learned was that I'm responsible for, like, the youth guys. So, like, our under 18s or under 20s aren't just, like, signing. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I, like... probably have to look at that. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, not too concerned about that. These are all just saying delayed decision. Which I'm good. I'm good if I'm good for all of those guys just leaving. These guys, he's like on the fringe of maybe something. Does he do anything well? Dribbling. Flair. Same thing. Scouting started, just kind of like let him go for it. Looks like the Denmark group might have a couple intriguing players, potentially. That looks like about it, to be honest. Luis Diaz is still, like, the best one. There is part of me that's interested in something like an Olmo or something, right? Like, somebody that can play that advanced midfielder role to just give us depth, to give us options. These guys are all so old. Tammy Abraham. I mean, Tammy is still getting it done. Does have natural fitness, does still have jumping reach, does still have some pretty good pace on him. He wouldn't be bad if we were, like, looking for, like, a Satriano replacement or something. I mean, that's not what I'm looking for, but... he is interesting, though. I am also a little bit worried. I don't know how that works, because he is at Roma, but if they just, like, let his contract end, I think he might stop being a non-EU player for them, and then becoming a non-EU player for us. Although, he might have... he actually has not hit the days for Italy yet. Or like a Lafont, somebody like that. Olmo probably intrigues me the most because, well, like, A, he's like the best player. Professional, flair, doesn't really have a negative, right? Cueva. Generally mentally better than Cueva. Cueva obviously kind of physically better. Better finishing. Another penalty guy. Slightly better free kick taker. An option at corners. You know what could also be interesting? Deep line playmaker. He's not brilliant defensively, but, you know, you're just kind of talking about a guy that can play. Because, like, we've seen that from Cueva, right? Where he can kind of drop back and play that deep line playmaker role a little bit. Olmo can kind of do the same. Or Olmo could potentially allow Cueva to drop back and do it. Then we could start those two guys. I'm kind of intrigued with him, at least. Not too concerned about striker, though, if I get maybe pushed into something with Cabrera. I think Cabrera have enough time on his contract to see it out. The thing about, like, a Carnesecchi is I don't have enough time on his contract unless everybody just decides that he is no longer worth the money, if that makes sense. Emerson Royale on the right side. Actually does have some decent crossing. Can I add something here? I mean, everybody's pretty good, but maybe you wouldn't necessarily... Well, and then he's only 23, so then even John Franco is, like, an option, though not our option. But I probably wouldn't be too concerned. That's maybe one question mark about Olmo. Matteo Pessina, because he's Italian. Does okay. I think Olmo's... Well, his mental stats are really nice out, though. I will give him credit there. Better aerially, better mentally, better defending, but not as good at vision, attacking, technical. And vision is kind of what provides that versatility, though. And we do get like another free kick take option with Olmo, where Pessina is not going to provide anything like that. And 1 year older. Thomas Socek. Nikola Vlasic. All these guys are older, though, too. And not to say that like, they couldn't be fine, but they are just that, like, already that one age older that makes it maybe a little questionable. Mancini. I mean, he looks like he would be a phenomenal depth pickup, being Italian and everything. I'm trying to think what would give us the options. I think I might just come back to this. Honestly, I might just leave this here, because I think that this is actually a very intriguing thing, as we have recently thinned down the squad a little bit. This could be a good opportunity to maybe pick a couple spots to, like, give us some flexibility just in case. I think the other thing we maybe have to keep in mind here, and maybe it's James Ward-Prowse... Maybe not. No, definitely not. But we might also keep in mind, if we can get a decent player here, somebody here, that looks like they could play that box-to-box role, it might not be a bad idea to kind of pick that up. And then we have options if we do want to move on from Madu. So I think kind of the thing to consider as we push into the deadline day, I will come back to that and probably do a little bit of that on the off season and maybe push ahead towards Genoa, and recap it at next stream. The big things that could happen are probably Marco Carnesecchi. I guess Danilo Pekovic could happen, but I don't think he would make a lateral move to Inter, so I'm not too concerned. Orestes maybe could get pulled by like a Milan or a Real Madrid, but we do have plenty of time on his contract. Yeah, we definitely have enough time on his contract that I don't have to make a move there. So I'm not too concerned about that. I think our wingbacks we can always improve on right now. Anthony Madu, I mean, he's really just being chased by Chelsea. As soon as Chelsea would lose interest, there's really nothing else going on for Anthony Madu. Chelsea is just very confident that they can get him, I guess. Raska is wanted by West Ham, but I don't think that he's really interested in going to that. Cueva, if Chelsea comes, I guess he would probably be interested, but we signed him. Oh, he's not signed to a huge deal. Okay. I may have to consider signing an Oscar Cueva too. Just seeing Chelsea there is somewhat interested. Like, I don't think that they've made like an official interest, but if Chelsea gets interested, that could be dangerous for him. Lots of interest for Cabrera. I'm gonna try to hold firm with him, to be honest. I think that he's just a really, really good player. And I want to hold firm. I'm very upset. I'm very upset the teams have kind of come to him. I didn't realize kind of how close the expiration date was. I would have loved to make a sign, make a sale there, sign him to a longer term than that. But I think it's still just enough time to maybe get something out of it. So yeah, kind of in hindsight, or kind of in kind of the expected things, I think Chelsea will come from Madu, or I think they very well could come from Madu. I think somebody could come to Carnesecchi. I think Liverpool's the only one that's actually gonna be enough to like, what's the word? Disrupt him or whatever. Unsettle him. Unsettle him's the word that I'm looking for. And then I think everybody else we can kind of keep track of. I'm not like too concerned. Ooh. Again, I don't think that he's interested in West Ham, but it might be worth signing Raska to a long-term deal. Getting some of these guys that can get a longer deal, get them a longer deal. So maybe it's worth going through some of that and just seeing who's maybe... Yeah, Nordberg's in like a weird spot. Though. Anyway, I think we're going to stop there just so I can take a peek at some things. And I do think I need to do really think about where guys could go. I think in particularly the midfield, we could have... I think we could have some intriguing options. I think Olmo's a guy that really intrigues me. We could have an option at goalkeeper if somebody's coming for Carnesecchi, though. I think we'd have to also make a move to probably get that guy in now. But between Lafont and Martin, it seems like we could probably get a decent guy for not terrible. And we're not getting exactly like too much older. If we can't get something for like North, we could, there's maybe some options here. There also seems to be plenty of striker options, but I'm not as interested in that. And yeah, we also have to remember that any of these guys are going to be like a year older by the time they are actually playing with us. So we do have to keep that there. I think that's maybe where Olmo is just... There aren't many players here that I think are just like clear upgrades. It's kind of Marquinhos and above, right? And then we get some that are kind of older players that maybe aren't quite as physically gifted anymore, maybe not enough, but I think Olmo's kind of that perfect blend where he could just provide us with a few more options next year. I think the other thing that is intriguing is, like I said, just getting a box-to-box guy. If Chelsea comes with like 150 for Madu, I think it might be tough. But I also want to do a little bit of scouting, I think, for some of those outcomes before the next stream. If Madu would sell, I think we would be looking to get a couple of players out of that deal, although I do think we'd probably owe a lot of money to Sunderland, so I'm not quite sure how much we would get in our pocket. Probably not enough for 2 players. But I think we'd at least kind of be thinking that direction of trying to get a couple players to replace Anthony Madu. So we need to see what's out there and what's available for us. So, but I think we'll wrap it up there. I don't think anybody really dropped in today, but appreciate anybody who did, and anybody who's been watching on YouTube. Some things have been going up, but but then I kind of stopped my consistency of posting. I don't know, maybe people thought I was going to be posting 4 hours of content every day. Can't quite do that, unfortunately. So please do like, subscribe, follow here on Twitch. The next stream will be... So I will not be streaming Thursday night due to the Steelers game. I should probably also, when I talk about this, like pull up a calendar so I could be like... yeah, so I probably won't be streaming Thursday the 22nd. The next stream will likely be Saturday at the typical time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, or whatever it is now, Eastern Daylight, whatever they're calling it. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. here, on the 24th of September. So, hope you can catch a stream. I hope to see people back. And, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.